is? Where is it?
It's on my desk.
Alright. Well, we'll let people fill in before we do our shtick, I suppose. Save your progress. Maybe we should have. We've saved it. Where are we? Vermilion City! I don't even remember us getting here.
Yeah, it was like right at the end of the last stream. Because you found that girl who wanted to trade an Arcanine for fucking 5 Meowths or something.
Right.
But we have like 0 Meowths. You're watching I Am Games, the least on-brand stream on twitch.tv today. Because we got off to a late start.
Today was, well, it was just a normal day for me. I just woke up and worked on my game. But you went on an adventure.
I became a part of history with lots of evidence.
Yeah.
The first recreational marijuana dispensary on the East Coast has opened today. And we got there as early as fucking possible because we figured we'd beat the line and like we were like, we've waited a long time, so like we feel entitled to this. Never mind that there's other people who've been like smoking for 20 years and are coming in from fucking like Michigan to do this just to be like a part of history, you know, because they're like real prideful. But like, you know,
when your identity, when your gender is weed.
Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly. There's people who are there who are like that. There was a guy in like a full weed costume, dressed like some kind of fucking plant monster. But like, yeah, like we were just like, oh, if we just leave early enough, and like we'll probably be the first ones there. And then we were, and like then we interviewed like 3.5 times. I like everyone's taking pictures of me. I'm in like all the videos of the event. It's like there's fucking Digibro in his big stupid coat, fucking telling the news people that he's gonna take as much as he can carry. In all of the propaganda of this event forever, as like their representative first choice stereotype, even though I just am a YouTube attention whore.
I feel like Dick would be proud of you.
Oh boy. And yes, this is the second time I got interviewed about weed, and that's how I knew that wearing the big coat would work. Because the reason we got interviewed the first time is that Ben was wearing this big fucking stupid hat. It was like the zebra thing. Have you seen that one?
I think so.
It's like a pullover, like one of those that goes over your ears. That's like got a zebra stripes pattern and like this huge fucking mane coming out of it. And he's wearing that and like his big fucking orange shorts that he would wear like all the time. And like Devu was with us and he just is Devu.
Right.
And I was wearing like probably some kind of anime shirt and pajama pants. So like of course we got approached like as soon as because we were just playing Pokemon Go around the town center early in the morning, and the news was like, oh, here's some people who look like they'd have an opinion on marijuana, and like none of us really gave a fuck at all because we don't really smoke, but we were like, yeah, I'll be on the news, why not? I'll say some stuff that sounds good for you so that you'll put a clip of me out on the internet and I can link it to people and say it was on the news, because I'm a weird YouTuber and therefore I know how to get attention from like small news outlets. And yeah, that happened, and now it happened again because this time I went, I'm gonna wear a big stupid coat so everybody interviews me, and it fucking worked.
For you to be in the Wikipedia article on weed. Just like this man just appears when weed is mentioned.
Yeah, he's art so fart so
you
the
encountered a wild Conrad. He appears where in the tall weed. I just made a background from a video game today. That's what I
Jalen Harris was asking, is the sub alert not on just tier 3 sub for the second month, or maybe I missed when it happened, my phone was fucking up, followed by someone with a notification for just subscribed with Twitch Prime, Slade000.
Sick.
So,
I mean, we haven't, the computer
like question answer
hasn't gotten turned off or anything since last stream. Everything's the same. So if it's not working now, it didn't work last. Oh, you fucking bitch! Radicate is a slut and should be killed.
Kappa X
Drowsy?
says,
Hell yeah.
you look cool dressed in black with similar pants.
What?
We look cool dressed in black and similar pants.
Oh, we need an I Am Games After Dark shirt. Clearly.
I guess in the low light of the stream, like, you know, because green and red occupy the same part of the visual spectrum, so they look exactly the same to our colorblind audience. But yes, I understand why these are similar pants.
They're both baggy pajama pants.
Yeah.
Did it?
And I am actual games this time, though. I am not just
literally
games, but I am an actual game. I am the PlayStation.
I think Monster Mind's gonna level up. Or evolve, I mean. Right? Level 18. Hell yeah! Kadabra. Kadabra. I caught a drowsy thinking we need a psychic Pokemon, but I forgot. We have Monster Mind.
Salmon Sandwich says, I wish Korea had weed. Too bad they treat it like I'm murdering a small child if I even remotely have a speck of it. Well, I guess they don't like that in Korea. Capex Digiboy says, I am slightly colorblind in the red-green scale, so you got me. What the fuck? Awesome.
Whoa, Psybeam instead of Confusion? Damn! This guy fucks.
I think I'm inclined to agree that the PlayStation 2 is better than the PlayStation 1, as someone has accused it of being.
It's because it is.
Yeah.
I like how the Rattata just run around even outside the grass. It's pretty cool.
As we've been doing this show, I've been doing like tons of research on random games, trying to figure out like what games I want to play, and like reading all these hardcore gaming 101 articles, and like the PS2 is a fascinating time. Because it is kind of when games started to get homogenized, because it was like everyone just wanted to make run around action games, because that is like the coolest type of game that everybody wanted, you know? If we all just wanted to run around as a dude and swing a sword and beat things up and like do it in full 3D with graphics that look real, you know? Yeah. And like from the PS2 onwards, that was possible, so it's just like that's what gaming was. And if you happen to like that style, if that's like what attracted you to video games was the possibility of that at some point, then like you are fucking in, dude. This is what games are now. But like also they've homogenized the control scheme across all the games so that like they were just like, well, this is what seems to be the most comfortable for the most people. So like this is what it's all going to be now forever. And that's fine. If you really like that control scheme. I feel like there were some of the more individual ones that were worth preserving.
I just like PS2. It's fucking good.
It's really fucking good. I'm not going to answer any questions about my appearance on the Dick Show here, so I can preserve Tom hearing me talk about my dick.
Yeah. Please save me.
How are you surviving playing all the Tales Up games? Well, I haven't really started on the second game yet. I have a very complicated idea of how I plan to play it. Because the original PlayStation version is considered like one of the worst Tales games. And it was like it has the same system as the Tales of Phantasia remake that I played on PlayStation. But that one came after the second game. And like perfected on its systems, much the way that like a Pokemon Leaf Green might have done to like Ruby and Sapphire. And as a result, like, that game is sort of looked down on, and so it had a remake on the PS2, and then a director's cut of that remake, because every Tales game gets released like fucking 5 times, and the PS2 version is like considered to be one of the best games in the Tales of series. However, it's never been translated into English. However, there is a full script translation available online if you just want to read the story and then play an incomprehensible Japanese game that you kind of sort of know what's going on because you kind of sort of can read Japanese, which is what like most of the Tales fans seem to have done, who give a fuck to go this deep into the Tales of discography. So yeah, it's like a nightmare. Because that means I'm probably going to have to play the game twice. I'm probably just going to have to play both the PlayStation and PS2 versions and just use the PlayStation version to understand the PlayStation 2 version. And I'm willing to go that far just because I feel like that's what a cool YouTube video does. I've been watching a lot of AVGN, and it's like he goes so fucking far. It's like, you know, he'll go play through the entire hard-ass game just for the sake of being able to show the end credits as a joke, you know? But he'll sincerely play through that motherfucker. It's like, that motherfucker puts so much effort into every single video. And, you know, I want to do that for a series that is supposed to be a definitive take on the Tales of canon.
Wow. That was unexpected. A fucking random Diglett just knew Fissure and one-hitted me. Like, because it's a one-hit KO.
Jesus Christ.
What a fag.
Have you been to Cerulean yet? Yeah, we beat Cerulean.
We're outside Vermilion City right now.
What, that thing in front of you guys? Do you mean our, like, mic wall thing?
We should put the mic in a better position. TBH.
Should I move it closer to me? Or what?
I mean, not right now. Oh my god, he's just fissuring my entire team. This guy's fucking me so bad. This is insane. Like, Fissure never hits that many times. This is embarrassing. I'm being raped by a Diglett. Oh, he's level 26, too. Holy shit. This guy doesn't fuck around. He's probably gonna beat me at this rate. Holy shit. Three fissures in a row? Oh my fucking god! Are you watching this right now? He just one-hit KO'd 3 guys in a row with Fissure.
What the fuck is happening?
He's going first. I can't do shit. I'm just getting anally raped right now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Diglett's super fast, right? People are like, oh, this is baby game.
I mean, this baby game is raping a child right now, apparently. That's what's happening.
Oh, boy.
Go on, do it again. Yep, killed my EEVEE. This is retarded.
This is really
4 guys in a row down. 1-hit KO with Fissure.
What the fuck is going on?
I mean, I can try quick attack with Pikachu so I can get the first hit in, but Diglett is using Fissure and hit 4 times in a row and killed 4 of my guys in 1 hit. I haven't got a chance to do shit. 4 fissures in a row.
Yeah, you gotta get a flying type.
I don't have a flying type yet. I was just minding my own business, not even paying attention while I was listening to Digi. And this guy comes over here and puts his old man dick up my poop hole.
You probably gotta...
Oh, finally.
He has a really low accuracy.
But it just hit 80% of its PP on me and wiped almost my entire party.
What a fucking...
He only knew Fissure? That was its only move? What the fuck is happening right now?
Wow.
To introduce you to one-hit KOs.
Yeah, it's you know, it's a mechanic.
Something just happened. I don't know what it was, but something just happened.
Did you even...
Yeah, he's a
knock
gamer,
his guy
so he's
out?
gonna use, like, you know, low accuracy moves. That's
Well, there wasn't low accuracy that time. 80%.
You got unlucky.
Yeah, it is
But,
RNG.
I'm disgusted.
Very unfavorable RNG.
Aw.
Tom got like fucking white. You do have some flying types in your party for sure. And not in your party, I mean, but in your.
I don't know what
PO
Pokemon
box.
we have because
Yeah,
I was not here from the very beginning.
Open up that old PO box.
Speaking of PO boxes, send shit to our PO box.
Yeah,
I put it in the description under the stream finally, so it is there now. Yeah, we did it. God damn it. What a disgusting display. So you're reading the comments on our Pokemon Let's Go video?
Yeah, they seem pretty positive about our take.
A lot of people, there was a you know, the usual suspects who are just like, this is good. Apparently Nuzlocks are impossible in this game.
Are they?
Some of the requirements to fight gym leaders is to catch X amount of Pokemon.
Right.
So you technically can't Nuzlocke, at least traditionally. But
if not for that, you would be able to. So that's
right.
Upsetting.
And someone was saying how like because like when we played, we would just level up our main. Like then you'd get to a gym like, well now I got to go back and catch 50 guys, and it's like, well, sure. I guess it's kind of annoying, but you also have to play the fucking video game. It's kind of interesting though that it like kind of makes you like explore the rest of the game you might otherwise miss. I don't know. I'm not too upset about it. What am I doing?
Everyone was fucking tripping on the Fisher thing.
Dude!
Chat. They're like, what the fuck is happening?
It was not okay. It was not okay.
Holy fuck.
Party. That's right, it's in here. Alright, who do we want? I need a birdie. That's for sure. Big cup. Apparently you can send doubles of your Pokemon back to the professor and they strengthen your party or strengthen your stats or something.
What is Defeneracy?
What?
What does the word Defeneracy mean?
I don't even know what that is. What's the context?
No thank you said, Umau, I saw the video of you outside the weed shop shared by some Poltards calling it Defeneracy. Little did I know anime YouTuber extraordinaire Digibro is there. That's even more degenerate.
I'm pretty sure it means degeneracy because the F's right next to the G.
The first time.
What's our highest level Pidgey? 13, 13, 12, 11. I mean, 13's fine, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, he meant degeneracy. I just fucking straight up was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is Defeneracy?
Have you seen the
I've heard of Defenestration.
Alright, it was the IV. Where are the IVs? Is it just the special attacks though? Change markings? What the fuck does that mean? Give me this bitch. Plus. 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 Was it anyone? Oh, it's not like an actual. I thought it may like change the way it looks. Got excited for no reason. I think this one's better.
Is it really $420 for an ounce? Yes. That's what the tax included at Cultivate, the place that we went to. It's quite expensive. So we were like, this cannot be like a regular fucking thing. Because, god damn.
We have a good party right now.
They put like a 20% tax on it.
Fuck.
Capex Digiboy, yes, I did know that Ekans spelled backwards is snake, and that Arbok spelled backwards is cobra.
We've been around for a bit, my friend.
Have you ever watched a little channel called Did You Know Gaming? Starring JonTron and Egoraptor.
Oh, someone posted in the I Am Games chat today that right on cue, Matt Pat did his Deltarune video, as we all knew was coming inevitably.
Yeah, I mean,
so
how could he not?
I can't wait to not watch it. Who do I swap out for a bird? Our party's great right now. Nobody.
Yes, I was wearing the big coat from the Fat and Dangerous video. It was legitimately the best coat option I had because it was going to be raining and cold. And that's the only thing I had that was like thick and hooded. But I also knew that I would get interviewed by everybody if I wore it, and I did. And it was hilarious.
Do you use electricity safely at home? No. Oh. I didn't realize I accidentally swapped out Pidgey for Ivysaur. Oh, this is the worst matchup ever. Who do I want? This is just Pikachu, fuck it.
We got a guy strongly defending the catching method in this game in the chat. I've definitely seen a lot of people saying stuff like that, and I think it's fair to say that like it does make it way the fuck easier to catch like every fucking Pokemon. You're not just gonna like you will not just stick with your starter Pokemon through the whole game. Like it kind of it's if it is a game for babies, it's a game to teach new babies to be better at Pokemon than the old babies like me who just used their starter and fucking swept the whole game with it, you know? Like now that the kids have gotten used to catching Pokemon like a lot, like using Pokemon Go and getting like every type of Pokemon that they never even bothered catching in the old game. Now like the game incentivizes that. So
I mean, it does like bring a part of the game that was easy to ignore to the forefront again.
Right. Which was meant to be like the way it was played in the beginning. Like,
sure.
If you played Pokemon Red trying to catch all the Pokemon, it really feels like the game was built for that. Like, that the rate that Pokemon evolve at and like, you know, like what levels they evolve at compared to what progress you've made and like how many guys you need at what level to beat a gym. It's just like, wow, this game was really well thought out that if you tried to catch all the Pokemon, it is perfectly formulated to that. At least in Fire Red. I don't know if this is as good in the original or if that's something that they were already fixing in their first remake, you know? But like, I think by this one they were just like, yo, this is how we can get people to fucking catch all the Pokemon, which means that we can merchandise more of the Pokemon.
It's true.
You know? Not
as if they're not already merchandised.
Yeah, and they picked the two most merchandised Pokemon, like the ones who everyone remembers because they've been on plushies and fucking Build-A-Bears for like a decade, you know?
Huh, fuck.
Yo, I keep forgetting I want to bring in May's, she's got Build-A-Bear, fucking EEVEE, and Alolan Vulpix, and I wanted to bring them in and put them up on the stream. Just to be like, look, this is where Pokemon has come. There's life-sized Pokemon running around at fucking Build-A-Bears. People fucking love Pokemon, man.
It's good shit. I have an EEVEE thing in my house.
Yeah, you have an EEVEE toy of some sort?
I got EEVEE, got like Sandile, I got a Sandshrew.
Oh, I've seen your Sandile. That thing is... Where the fuck did you get that? Is that like a pop figure or something, or what?
I have two Sandiles. I have the plastic one, which was, I think was just from like I don't know, like a kid's meal or something. I don't remember. I didn't get it. My little sister gave it to me. I didn't have a plush one, but it's from like Toys R Us or some shit.
Yeah, Sandel's really good looking. Digi, can I say that Blackout Curtains is a great track and it makes me wish that visual novel was a thing? Yeah, I agree. I held on to that shit as like a close guarded secret for such a long time because I wanted it to be part of the story. So like, I went out of my way to release it under a different name so that it could like potentially get played by a different crowd and be like interpreted as not me. But like, I'm not going anywhere with that visual novel, so I was just like, whatever, I'll throw it on this fucking random album of fucking failed projects. Hey Digi, if you hate people, why do you care about expressing yourself to others besides Patreon money? Well, it's fun to do.
Because that's how you get more patrons.
It's, yeah, I mean, well, making money is obviously a strong incentive to do a show like this, but also, like, it's just a fun way to... Just like a fun way to mix up your interactions, make things that have pointed... Yeah? Like in the can opener? Okay.
I'll double duty until you get back, I guess. What's going on in the chat? Pikachu's weird ass tail is gonna annoy the shit out of me. Wait, what's wrong with Pikachu? Oh, because it's the heart shape? Because it's a female Pikachu? That's you're making fun of sex differences. That's bigoted. Shit. People are review bombing this on Metacritic. I mean, I'm not really surprised. Whoa, Pidgeotto's up the ass. Fuck Pidgey. Give me one of these motherfuckers. There we go. That's only level 14. It's only a little bit better. Alright. That was bullshit. The weird thing that you can't see about the catching mechanics in this game is that it's not a one-to-one movement. You can aim in like 3 relative directions and it is not accurate. Like, that was completely straight. And it just sometimes it just veers off into the stratosphere. Again, completely straight. Like, it does not track your movements. It just kind of decides where it wants to go, and it does suck. I mean, it feels like maybe because I'm not sitting in front of the Switch, but this isn't like the Wii, where it's like using infrared. It's just a gyroscope, so there should be no problems considering my location. Very odd. I'm gonna go to the start of the chat. You have to visualize what the gyro in the controller is doing. Ah, of course. I should have thought of that. What was I thinking? Thunderbolt? Hell fucking yes! Oh, what do we got? Double kick. I mean 40, 100, 90, 100. $30, 100. Fuck it. No, double team is good. beat up all these guys. There's another one down here. No. Oh, hidden. We can go look at the Snorlax. What's up here?
This guy is telling me about how, like, Symphonia of Vis and Vesperia are generally considered the golden age of Tales by most of the fandom. I'm half convinced it's just because they were the starting point for a lot of people, but either way, everything afterwards is varying degrees of dog shit. I know Vesperia, well, yeah, Vesperia is, like, supposed to be, like, the last really good one. I don't know. It really depends on who you ask, because, like, RPG fans are just, like, mega into fucking everything. And so, like, when I read a bunch of, like, RPG site reviews, like, every Tales game has, like, really good reviews, but it's all a matter of perspective. It's like, do you like kind of cheesy, like, old games that have, like, kind of simplistic controls, but you just, like, really like the vibe of this game? Then it's like, maybe you'll super enjoy these. Like, I really liked Tales of Phantasia. My review is pretty positive about it. I wouldn't say it was, like, a favorite. I wouldn't say I'd go replay it anytime soon, because there are, like, newer and better games in the series, but, like, it's, it would be worth revisiting in a vacuum.
We can see the IVs of our Pokemon now. Jalen Harris is good. Monster Mind is great. So
where are these ratings at?
Good stats.
Oh,
see?
Good stats.
So far, Monster Mind is our boy, so good job,
boy.
Steve. I bet your starting Pokemon just crushes, right? Yeah, look at this. Look at your starter. There is no graph because it's best everything.
Oh my god. Amazing stats. Yeah, I mean, they definitely left in the ability to just sweep with your starter. And it's not that they discourage keeping it in your party, because they're like, look, this is like the strongest.
Alright, we now have the eugenics feature here in Pokemon, so now we can judge them all horribly. Our party sucks, and we need to get better. Disgusting. None of you are Ubermensch except for Monster Mind.
Heliox says, I finally listened to Sumane after hearing Did You Talk About it so often. I really like the vocals. Yeah, it's like my favorite vocalist is the guy from Shinsei Kamate-chan. Did that visual novel track of yours have an Animal Crossing beat? Yes, it was over the 1 AM song from New Leaf, I think.
Oh god, our Ivysaur is shit.
Oh,
okay, stats.
He's bad.
Into the garbage with you! You fucking disgusting Mongoloid.
Oh boy. I saw you tried to watch some of the Tales anime. I assume it isn't the best. I mean, it's fine. It looks really pretty, and it's basically just a bunch of action scenes from the game, so it's pretty entertaining. But it would make no sense whatsoever if you had not played the fucking game, because like it's just random pieces of the story from like way the fuck far in. Like, it summarizes the first 4 hours of the game in like 5 minutes, and then it it just straight jumps to like 25 hours into the game, and that's where the story picks up from. So it's like, if you haven't played the game, this is totally incomprehensible. But it is really pretty.
All our Pidgeys suck.
You really think that Starly is good enough?
I'm a fucking racist now.
Can you breathe in this game?
All our Pokemon are shit. This is incentivizing me to catch more. Now they know that all of my Pokemon's genes are subpar.
Yeah.
They're all garbage. Everything we've caught is shit.
No, thank you. Says, memes aside, did you do whatever you want with your dick? I don't actually care if you have a kid or not.
Alright.
It's just funny.
We're swapping out Vulpix for Charmeleon, because look at that. That's some good shit right there. Plus,
and it's
Vulpix is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I like Charmeleon, obviously, but how often do you get to use a Vulpix in a real Pokemon game?
We have another Pokemon. We got another Vulpix. Gotta make sure. We gotta check. We gotta compare. Ooh, they're both good in different ways.
Could you always get a Vulpix before the 3rd gym?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's new.
Alright. Has shitty speed and good everything else. The other one.
Someone said you should replace Ugu with the Magic Heart because it'll evolve pretty soon.
Isn't it in the daycare?
Oh, you might be. Well, maybe that's what he means. Maybe he's saying that like it's already. I don't know.
Alright, well, I'll figure that out in a second. I gotta, like, become the Das Uber. Alright, we're going to the other one.
I heard that if you chain captured, IVs will be better. There are,
that's what the chain capture does.
Have you seen the guys who are, like, the big Pokemon? Like, when they have, like, the blues surrounding them, they're, like, big. And I think that
and the red
means
ones
better
are small.
IVs, probably.
Well, there's big and small ones. I don't know what the difference is, but...
Yeah,
Alright, we're gonna...
That was something I felt like I wish I had more information about before I made my video, because I was kind of confused about how it works.
I mean, you could have just said, hey, what does that mean? I could have...
Well... I also
what happened to talking about doing all that in-depth research, like the Angry Video Game Nerd? You couldn't even look that up before we
Well, I'm working... That was just like a quick release video.
Alright.
I was like, yo...
Check out our Spearows. Let's see if they have better genes than our Pidgeys.
This is like our first impressions of this fucking game. Remember, you were like, yo, we could easily just do a first impressions video, and then like anything new we find out could be another one. Why not?
That was the idea. We just didn't label it as a first impression, so everyone's gonna judge us way harsher.
Let's see.
Checking all the Pidgeys, seeing if they're shit. Good. I'm not in the market for good. I'm in the market for exceptional.
Pokemon only start being great when you have a catch chain of 31 plus.
I don't agree.
That seems unrealistic.
We have some good ones in here. We have some Aryan Pokemon.
Pokemon size has no effect on IVs.
Alright, fuck it. We're just going with Spearow.
No way Ninetales learns Hypnosis, so you're trying to catch Pokemon, you can put them... It's... oh, wait.
Hypnosis works in wild battles?
I guess so, but I
Damn!
mean...
That's dope!
Well... No, he was making a joke that you would want Ninetales because it learns Hypnosis and that makes catching Pokemon easier, but because in this game you don't do it that way, he's just like, oh wait, I don't, like, it doesn't matter.
I thought it, like, did work, and that would have been cool.
No.
Patch it in, Nintendo, you cowards. How am I? What's my stats? This is me. It's canon. This canon is me in Pokemon. Yeah! That's right.
Tom Bone.
I'm amazing.
You gotta name him Tom Bone.
I will. I will right now.
I really regret that I didn't take footage of my own playthrough of Tales of Fantasia, although I think I'll probably
can I not change the name? Or do I have to add it to party first?
I don't know.
Is it because it's traded? I can't change the name? Yeah,
it's
traded.
Didn't even have a name.
Yeah, he's just Rattata. I can't change his name because it's traded.
Well, that's dumb.
Boo! Alright, this game gets 0.
What does change markings mean?
It's just like a little symbol. I don't know what it means. Favorite or other shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I thought it would like change the colors of them. I got excited, but it's not. Ooh, what about Boomer? We gotta check out Boomer's genes. Oh,
anyway, I part of the reason I haven't gotten to editing the Tales of Fantasia video yet is that I want to take footage of myself playing the first part of the game using the names, because I named all the characters. Part of my script is that I gave all the characters names from the live streams, and so like I introduced them as what their real name, like their canon name is, and then I insist on calling them by the live stream name for the rest of the video, because I figure that if I do that in all of the games, people will at first find it highly obnoxious and then eventually become actually curious about the live streams. Because there's a potential for those videos to reach a lot of people if they get successful, which they could easily not. And if nobody gives a fuck at all, I probably won't end up doing a whole lot of them. But if people really give a fuck, I'll be like, alright, I'm gonna fucking play all these goddamn Tales games. Whoa, Kadabra!
He just kind of floats around.
Dude, this is magical. Seeing all the Pokemon to size like this, like...
It's pretty cool.
It's so good.
I mean, you gotta also realize, though, you're probably like 4 feet tall in this game.
Just having fucking fat fuck Drowsy walking around and fucking Kadabra's big as fuck and following you. It's just like, this is satisfying. It feels like the Pokemon world that I've wanted since I was a kid.
Satisfying video game. Get fucked. Oh, what an old fuck. Using a Fuller store. What an old fuck.
ABGN is shit now. He's trying to JonTron but doesn't have the budget, so everything looks like shit and his jokes aren't even funny anymore. Okay, first of all, he's hasn't even really increased his production values that much. He hasn't forgotten that the charm of YouTube is dumb looking shit. That's why he's doing dumb looking shit. Like, the problem with JonTron's videos was that he tried to make it look like a movie, and it was like, it doesn't have the feel. It feels like chintzy. It feels like a chintzy movie as opposed to an expensive YouTube video. You know what I mean? Did you ever watch like JonTron much?
I watched some of his stuff.
Yeah,
I never really gave
like
a fuck.
huge JonTron guy or anything. But he has he definitely. I haven't watched his like latest stuff because I heard that he got a little better in like the post season 3 stuff, but like he didn't do much of it.
I heard that like I don't know if it was a joke, but I saw a post on Twitter, and I don't follow JonTron enough to know, but the JonTron Reddit like changed to follow another YouTuber because he hasn't been posting anything in forever. So it's just like some other guy now.
Well, his Reddit had like trashed and abandoned him over his political opinions. You know about that, right?
Yeah, JonTron's red pill. He's got a head on his shoulders.
What are your pet peeves?
Cables, like the massive amount of cables we have in
Our
front of us
cable
right
structure is fucked in this room.
now. It's really bad.
My pet peeves are people making weird assumptive comments on the internet.
Well, you're in for a bad time on the internet.
Yeah, I know. It's the ones where people are just like, oh, it's Digi, so surely this is the case. And it's like something that's like completely irrelevant to what I would think about anything. And I'm just like, well, you missed the mark. I'm sorry. Stop trying to predict. Just await. Just base your opinion on the information at hand.
We got to check out the genes of our Magikarp. Since this is the one you bought, I would assume they would give you one that isn't shit. But you never know.
Red Letter Media's videos are the perfect balance of dumb YouTube videos and decent production value. I agree. That's why me and Nate have always like talked about how we want to be
Look
like
at this.
Red Letter Media.
Look at this monster. Look at this god. Look at this legend.
That's ridiculous, dude. Halo fucking reach, dude.
Yeah! He's in. He's in. Characteristics.
Dude.
Likes to thrash about.
Ready. Doesn't even fucking describe it! Yeah!
I've watched that video a few times.
Maybe like a few hundred. Oh my god.
Alright, who are we dumping? I guess we're dumping the last genetic defect. There we go. This is our party right now. It's not balanced, but it's pure. It's pure eugenics right now.
Monster Huntress 4 says, in trying to get a shiny Vulpix, I found a shiny Raticate. R.I.P.
Well, sometimes bad things happen. What can I say? Dun, 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 dun. Have we gone to the SSN? We didn't, right? We should do that, but first, I gotta train up my boys. It's huge! Yeah, I know. Fuck you.
Jalen Harris, oh shit, I just realized he got rid of me, fuck.
You weren't pure enough.
Are you pure enough to keep it real with yourself when you're in the mirror, bruh? That's a song.
I figured it was a song. What a cunt! I'm gonna kill your brother now. Have you noticed there's a little bit of delay when you throw a Pokeball? So you gotta like be a little bit more predictive.
Yeah, it's I mean that's how it is in Pokemon Go as well, so I think that's why they do it that way.
Like, was lying to me. It's like, oh, you seemed like you had it. I'm like, it didn't even shake once. Stop lying to me, you fuck. Tell me I suck. It's fine. I already know. Oh, you fucking whore. These Pokemon all blow my nutsack.
This guy says it's okay, I'm hunting a shiny Vulpix literally right now too. I got a shiny Jigglypuff, shiny Polygon, and had a shiny Pidgeotto Flea. Still no Vulpix. A Porygon, I would say. A shiny Porygon.
I hope I find a shiny Vulpix right now and
Are
kill
there
it.
fucking Porygons out in the field in this game? I've never had a fucking Porygon.
Really?
No.
They're not great, but they're cool.
Yeah, I always wanted one because fucking he's a computer Pokemon. What the
I didn't
fuck is
realize
that
until
about?
way later when I started doing 3D that Porygon 2 is just a subsurf Porygon. It's higher poly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, we can just put a subsurf
I-
modifier on.
I understood the Porygon meme because of the fact that in Super Smash Bros, when you fought in the N64 game, you fought the Polygons, and then on the GameCube game, you fought the wireframes, and it made me realize that like it was because they were getting more and more complicated with the graphics, and like that was super fucking fascinating to me. I don't know if they kept
Porygon's
that up
racist.
Brawl.
Because his name's Porygon. It's like Polygon, but with an R, like Asian.
What?
Like they mix up the R's and the L's. Polygon, Porygon.
Oh, God, you're probably right.
I think it's a little not PC anymore.
Oh, boy. Porygon.
Yeah,
You
know what I'm saying?
He probably is just called Polygon in Japanese, right?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, no. Is that... I gotta know what his Japanese name is. Oh, boy. Tom, you may have just had the revelation of a lifetime. You know how many fucking Twitter accounts could tweet this and make some money? Oh,
Maybe I should do it. Gotta get my team go. Oh, what the fuck? Go straight.
Okay, yes, his Japanese name is literally just Porygon. Porygon.
Well,
So they just were like, oh yeah, well, that's just how they say Polygon, but they say Porygon, so we'll just call it Porygon.
mistakes were made.
That's fucking hilarious. This is turning out to be a fucking a stream that I will remember. Like, I want some clips from this one. I want us realizing. I want the Diglett sweeping your party with a fucking one move, and realizing the truth about the name Porygon. I feel like Polygon should write an article about the Porygon name thing. I would sell this idea to Polygon. They can pretend like they are personally offended. Yo, UG6 Live just subscribed to Twitch Prime.
Hell yeah! Is the animation thing not working again?
I have no idea.
You know,
I didn't hear it.
I have some issues with everything involved with IM Games production.
Yeah.
My issue is it's all bullshit.
Jalen Harris did say earlier that it didn't work for his tier 3 sub.
I mean, it is on. It is there. Nothing has changed.
Yeah. Technology is a failure.
We're not getting enough XP. We need to get more.
Where are the SAO videos, Digi? I decided to not do it weekly because I could not think of new ideas every week. It was, the show's really fucking boring, man. I've continued work on my Log Horizon video, and I just finished writing and recording part 2 and sending that off to EEVEE. So parts 1 and 2 should hopefully come out by the end of the month, though the amount of time he's taking on part 1, I think he's nearly done with it. But if he really rushes, he can probably get part 2 done as well by the end of the month. And that'll be like an hour and 15 minutes of me fucking ranting about every minute detail of Log Horizon and just being like, this is the best show of all time! I fucking love video games!
I just want to play video games!
This laptop's only got 4% battery.
It's not good.
The charger's right here, thank God. Oh shit, Squirtle's fucking evolving, dude. We're gonna have a fucking 3D War Turtle that you can have follow you around and beat people up.
War Turtle.
Dude, he's ready to fucking wreck.
He's fucking adorable in this game.
He's pretty fucking cool.
Look at his little fucking rosy cheeks. War Turtle.
There we go. You can rotate the model. Do you know this? Look at this shit.
How are you doing that?
Just move the little joystick around and get a good view. This guy's fucking sick. Alright.
Have you played EEVEE's game? I haven't yet, but I tuned into a little bit of Ben's stream where he was playing the game.
Look at him go!
And I had to stop because of the fact that the way that EEVEE's game is written sounds like he is speaking every line of it. Like, it's all, like, phrases he would say and, like, spoken in his tone of voice. So, like, as I was reading the text, I could hear EEVEE saying it. And then, like, hearing Ben try to read it over it, but, like, not giving it EEVEE's voice was like, I can't do it this way. Like, I have to play it myself because, like, it's too weird. Like, hearing EEVEE's head as I fucking click around in his game. But it had some pretty clever stuff in the bit I watched. It was like you're trying to pick up like it's a microfiber towel, but it's like micro something else. Like it basically makes you warp through space. but like in extremely minor distances, and so like as you're trying to pick it up, you keep teleporting around the bathroom trying to pick up this towel that's teleporting you obnoxiously. It's a fucking obscure joke, and like it's pretty funny. So I would definitely like to play the game at some point, but EEVEE has quite a fucking imagination.
Something
that
amazing has just happened.
I've always wanted to see explored. What happened? Everybody leveled up like crazy?
No, we ran out of Pokeballs.
Oh my god. I can't say I'm too surprised, but should voice all the Pokemon? I do requests. Are the Log Horizon videos going to spoil the show? Yes. I mean, I'm going to be going in depth into every single detail. I don't really spoil it in the early videos per se, but like if you're not sold by the end of the first video to go watch the show, like what's gonna sell you? Like I mean, just go watch it. It's great. But it's gonna be me going into like every fucking second of it and being like, this shot's really cool and here's why. You know, this is a neat directing technique. Oh, this guy's character design is really good. This has narrative significance. This thing is fucking good characterization. Like, all the way down the list of everything conceivably good about it. And bad. I'm actually pretty hard on the first arc compared to how I will be on the rest of the show. It's more balanced between, like, positives and negatives, whereas, like, the rest of the show will probably just be like, and here's why everything's great from this point forward.
Oh, we gotta buy Pokeballs like a fucking peasant.
No thank you says, oh yeah, I watched the 7-hour Pokemon analysis you recommended, and now I am Scottish. Dude, that happens to me whenever I watch too much. I didn't quite get his voice fully into my head, but like I can hear it a little bit.
We just have candies that increase stats permanently, like straight up.
It's definitely a voice that set up camp in my brain, and now I want more of it. But like most of his videos are really old, and he's not quite as charismatic back then. And so like I need more new Shay-Mei videos. I would watch more 7-hour analyses of Pokemon games if he made them.
You can have over 100 of an item. I was just gonna try buy 100 Pokeballs, like 373.
Go as far as you can. I mean, that's all your money if you do that. But
I was just gonna drop 10k because I just sold both of our nuggets, so I'm also just use that money on Pokeballs.
Crystal Clear was the open world Pokemon ROM hack, right? I believe so.
Yep.
Mad out EX says, I love EEVEE's game, even if I had to speed run it since it crashed on me the first time I played it. I need more from him since there's no so much exploring how he thinks about things anymore that I know of at least. Yeah, I'm a big fan of EEVEE's work. Like his perspective is fascinating to me. I just feel like he has like an angle that he always finds an angle no one else would take, but that seems relevant. What is that? A fucking Mr. Mime?
It is.
Did this happen before, or is this the first one?
This is the first one I've seen.
All right, I was like,
Oh god,
oh,
he's not
hard.
fucking around, dude. All right.
Like, wasn't Mr. Mime like kind of a complicated Pokemon to get?
You had to trade for him.
Yeah.
An Abra. So we could technically get one via trade. Look, that berry did nothing. He doesn't give a fuck.
This guy fucks hard, dude. Holy shit.
You need to read the Great Balls. Oh god, I can't even hit him because he's not in the center of the screen. Fuck! Go left! Oh my fucking god, I hate this fucking... Look at this shit! It's impossible!
I apologize to anybody paying attention to the face cam that I keep fucking picking my nose.
Why? Why can't I aim? It just keeps going straight now. Oh my fucking god. This is hell.
This guy's an asshole.
This is hell. This is... It's
This
worse.
guy's an asshole wrapped in dong.
The no one-to-one movement is bullshit. You get fucked. You better have, like, perfect stats.
Oh, you actually fucking got her. Good job,
Female Mr. Mime. Yeah.
Why?
Trans.
Why?
Trans, and we're not respecting their gender.
I mean, he surely had a female form before.
Apparently there was a Pokedex entry that Mr. Mimes, straight up, they will put on performances for you, and if you shit on them, they will marry your mom.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's apparently in like a Pokemon Wikipedia thing, and it explains why Ash's dad is a Mr. Mime in the show, because they fuck, canonically.
What? No, that can't be true. That can't be official information.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people make jokes about Ash's mom fucking Mr. Mime, but like, I cannot.
Mr. Mime fucks, dude.
I cannot fathom that that would be like something they actually wrote into the fucking game.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's in this game, these games that
That's
don't seem
fucking
real.
absolutely ludicrous. I hope you're right. Cause that would
I
be
hope the post I
best.
read was right too, but there was like a long train of people not saying it was bullshit. They're just people confirming that this was the case.
That's fucking nuts.
So, our Mr. Mime is shit.
The guy who said that he looks forward to the Lock Horizon video because he watched the first 4 episodes and was bored. A lot of my video is talking about why I think the show inevitably comes off worse on a first viewing of those first 4 episodes, even though I enjoyed them my first time through, so I can't say that
I guess you're in now, by the way.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, is it just I slammed my hand down kind of hard?
I guess so.
What the fuck was I talking about? Mr. fucking chat talking about Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about how Log Horizon's first 4 episodes aren't as good in the first
Oh,
viewing.
yeah. I still enjoyed them, so if you didn't enjoy them at all, I can't say that the show necessarily is going to get better for you, but there are reasons I could conceive of thinking that the show wasn't going to be as good as it turned out to be. You know, that like...
Oh god, this is gonna hurt like fuck.
Because like the first arc has like a lot of action scenes, and it kind of makes the show feel like it's a fantasy action show. And then like right after that is an arc where there's no action for like 6 episodes, and it's just people in boardrooms talking about shit, you know. And that's when the show really gets good. So you could easily, if you like, it's possible you would really like it when you got to that point, because maybe what bothered you is like generic fantasy action, which is not really the appeal. But like when you go back through the show thinking about it, like when you've seen the whole thing, you appreciate that it's trying to set up how the tactics of combat work in this world so that it won't have to go over it again, so that you'll always understand what's happening in the future when, you know, like the minutia of mechanics becomes important to like major ramifications of the story. So like, you know, it's a good idea for them to have front-loaded all this knowledge, but it does give you kind of the impression that it's going to be a generic fantasy action show because the villains are really cliche. And that's probably the worst thing about the whole show.
If you use an EEVEE candy, EEVEE will get much stronger. If you want to get candy for a specific Pokemon, try catching that species over and over and send them to the professor.
Mr. Mime is stealing your mom as if it was easy. Appreciate it.
I'm going to use my EEVEE candies on EEVEE.
Tom, you move the Joy-Con only horizontally to throw to the side. I don't know if he's saying that that's what you have to do or just to try it. SAO equals show where people stand around and talk a bunch equals bad. Log Horizon, show where people stand around and talk a bunch equals amazing. It's all in what you talk about. To be fair, in Log Horizon they mostly sit. Well, to be fair, in SAO they mostly sit in cafes. Well, I guess, I mean, if you want to know the difference, there's the perfect metaphor. SAO is about conversations on the level that would happen in a cafe. Log Horizon is a show about conversations on a level that they all happen in a boardroom. This is the difference in the appeal. One is something that teenagers do for fun on the weekend. The other is something that grown adults do while making the decisions that make the world go round. So which one do you think is more interesting? You know?
I just want something I can relate to.
You can relate to both. It's easier to relate to Log Horizon. I think the only thing that people don't relate to about it is that the characters are functionally immortal. And a lot of people say that means the show doesn't have as much stakes. But you have to look at it as that it's metaphorical for just being in the first world and having like a lot of your needs taken care of. And therefore you can just be creative as an individual. Because the whole story is based on this essay called Homesteading the Noosphere by this famous, kind of infamous for right-wing politics, but nonetheless a famous, programmer guy who wrote this essay about how, if you want hackers to do their best work, you just have to take care of their basic needs and let them do whatever they want. And, it sounds totally, from a business perspective, like a terrible idea, but the people who are doing the best work, that's how they're living, you know? And so it's with Log Horizon, it's what if we lived in a world where you didn't have to subsist because you just live automatically, but all the flavor is for you to discover. Even food, if you just eat the food, it has no taste. You have to learn how to cook the food in order for it to taste good, but you can just eat mush forever and be fine because you can subsist without having to eat. This is a metaphor for communism versus capitalism is basically, you know? The show is so capitalistically driven, it is all just a metaphor for the economic politics of Mamare tax evasion arrested Tono. You know about that, right?
No.
The guy who wrote Log Horizon went to jail for tax evasion.
It's amazing.
And the story he wrote before Log Horizon, called Mao Yu, is all about economics. The whole show is about how economics rules the world, and basically the idea that the only reason wars exist is because it fuels the economy. And so if they can fix the economy to not have to rely on war, then they can end the fighting. And that's what the show is about trying to do. And so Mamare Tono is very much obsessed with how the capitalist market works and can bring the world to its best final form in his mind. And but he's also a little bit of too much of a weird libertarian for Japanese society and has tried to dodge taxes for something to the effect of 15 million yen in his revenue, his book residuals. So I don't know if he actually went to jail. I think he might have just had to fix the tax situation, but he was on house arrest for a while.
Jesus.
And he had been dropped from publication for a few years, but he's finally, because he kept writing the Log Horizon books as a web novel. So there's 18 books in the web novel series and only 13 that have been published, but they just finally published another one after almost 5-year gap of the time that this guy was in legal trouble. But yeah, it's catching back up. So I think it's not impossible that a season 3 could happen if the books, become popular again and Studio Dean wants to do it.
I wonder if he's still paying taxes.
I'm sure he is now. I'm sure he's fucking got the fear of God in him because he's a fucking light novel author, he may position himself as some fucking mega brain on the status of the economy, but he's not a man who moves money around. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing trying to evade taxes, obviously.
He's got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
He got too big for his libertarian britches. He started to become too much of a sovereign citizen.
That's what we all want at the end of the day, though, isn't it?
Oh my god. Dude, am I being detained?
Maritime Admiralty Law. It's not a joke. Your name in all capital letters is the corporation that the government took out as collateral against the national debt when you were born. That's not actually you. You are not obligated to follow any laws. So says Kymatica.
The real question is not should I watch Log Horizon, it's should I rewatch Log Horizon. That's also something I address extensively in my video, where I highly encourage rewatching it, because like a lot of stuff that you might have blown off in the beginning because you were just like, whatever, this is all just world building, random bullshit. And then when you eventually realize how relevant it is later on, then it's like, oh man, they were like setting up a lot of shit in the early part of this show. Like they told us a lot of stuff that sounded like just here's how the world works, but then like all of it was relevant later. So, you know, it feels good to rewatch. It's very dense.
So many things are going on. Alright, should I just go on the SSM? That's what we gotta do next, right?
Yeah. I relate to Kirito because I'm also an edgy loner that only wears black, and I also have a really hot GF in WoW.
Damn.
He fucking knows Shiroi doesn't pay his taxes and would instead concoct some plan to have no one pay taxes ever again. Yeah, exactly. He would definitely consider taxes to be an overstep. But Log Horizon's clever in the way it's written, in that it never frames it as like having to be necessarily opposed to an opposite side, because they're just building society from the ground up, and because all their basic needs are met, there's no reason not to go in the libertarian direction. So it's just like, yeah, that's what we're going to try to strive for. Like, everyone just understands that in the story. So it's never like an argument. It's just like people trying to figure out what is the best approach to what we all agree is the right way to go, you know? And because of that, it never has to be like confrontational, and that's why it doesn't feel like a political show, even though it totally is. Oh, this is cute as fuck. Yeah. Baby, this is fucking a sailor uniform.
Change my bag to a sailor.
That is absolutely adorable.
Can I do that for Pokemon as well? Yes, you can.
Yeah, he was on house arrest only. He never went to jail, but still, goddamn. I Am Games, the most red-pilled stream on Twitch.tv.
I don't think so, but
Drop black pills dropping like bombs on Yokohama. That's a lyric I wrote before we started the show.
whoa, dude, look at the SSN. It looks like a boat.
Oh my god. It's like a good, yeah, it just kind of weirdly look Kingdom Hearts-esque with its color palette.
I'm like so used to this just being like a series of bland, not visually interesting tunnels that looks just like every other environment. Whoa, 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 whoa. There he is. The man himself.
Shit,
Gary motherfucking
He looks
Oak.
fucking great. He definitely looks the best out of any of the NPC guys in this game. Like, they made him styling. I love that they gave him like a puffed out chest. Like, he looks like a badass. Because Gary was supposed to be like a good looking badass. This is a really good point. Lasan Hade Frango. I don't know what the fuck, how you're supposed to pronounce that. Lol, for a Japanese otaku, being sentenced to house arrest must be the same as nothing.
Got him. Oh man. It's not even wrong.
Hey Digi, which Pokemon anime do you recommend? I mean, if you grew up with the original dub, it's still like incredibly endearing and easy to watch. And also in Japanese, the first arc is fun. I've watched like 14 episodes of it in Japanese. It takes some getting used to the Pokemon names, because you basically have to learn an entire second set of fucking names. But it's pretty... The voice acting is really good. If you wanted to hear it with better voice acting, it's still entertaining and childish, but like it's not as like confronting you with dub voices. And I don't know how long it stays good, because I didn't watch enough of the Johto League to really know if it was still good then. I remember just like, I just never had time to watch it in that era. And then Pokemon Advanced, I thought was like real childish, and I could never get into it. Diamond and Pearl starts off kind of strong, because they sort of soft reboot the arc of Ash with a new character, because Dawn is kind of like in the position Ash was in at the start of Season 1. But like... it quickly kind of devolves into just sameness because the show goes on for so fucking long. And then Black and White, or Best Wishes as it was in Japanese, I was watching from like the start up to like episode 36, because I really like, it had some of my favorite voice actors in it, and like it's just really entertaining. They put a lot more emphasis on the Pokemon, which I feel like is always the best way to go in the show, because the characters are not that interesting. Like, you want to see their interactions with Pokemon, and they're kind of archetypical, and if you grew up with the show, then that's easy to relate to. But like, when you focus on the Pokemon instead, it can be like, you know, getting to know these creatures even better, and like having a better mental image of them when you play the games. And it's really neat. So, I would say Best Wishes, I really enjoyed for the 36 episodes I watched of it. I know it goes on forever. I don't know if it stays good. A lot of people really like X, Y, and Z, because it takes Ash's, like, progression as a trainer more seriously, and he's, like, in serious competitions, and they did all this, like, weird Sakuga in the fucking gym battles. So, like, that was where... like, a lot of people who have been, like, keeping up with Pokemon throughout the years were like, oh, this is the best art, because, like, Ash is actually developing as a character. But he still doesn't win the fucking Pokemon League, even after, like, he finally got the big pop arc where the whole thing was about, like, he's a serious trainer now, and he still doesn't win. So it's never gonna happen. So, like, get cocked to all the people who are super into X, Y, and Z. And then they started up the new one, which is, like, totally different, because it's not an adventure, it's just, I mean, I don't know if they eventually start adventuring or something, but, like, it just takes place with, like, Ash comes to this island, and it's just hanging out with the natives of this island and playing with Pokemon. It's kind of like a school anime, because, like, Ash is going to, like, a school for trainers on this island, and, like, there's a bunch of super cute girls that the show is not shy about reminding you are super cute girls. So it kind of feels like a high school anime, but like, Ash, you know, it's all over the island. It doesn't, like, fixate on the school, and it's Pokemon, and it's just, like, it's really comfy and mega entertaining, and the art style is fantastic, and it animates really well, and there's, like, just really strong art direction all throughout. So, like, I definitely recommend the latest one, Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon's probably, like, the outright best one to just, like, watch today. It is a little slow, because it's still a kid's show, but, like, what happens is entertaining and looks good. But, like, that one, Best Wishes, and the original show is, like, it feels really fast-paced. Like, it's surprisingly... like, it tries to pack a lot of jokes in and, like, really be a successful comedy show in a way that you might not, like, quite remember. But, like, when you watch it, it's way funnier than, like, the newer seasons, where it's just, like, they show up in a town and there's 30 of the same Pokemon there, and they're like, wow, this town's overrun with Skiplup! And, like, then there's, like, 10 shots of just an army of Skiplup bouncing around, and then, like, they resolve this somehow, and that's the episode. And, like, that's what it was like in Advanced. It's like every episode is just like there's 30 of some Pokemon causing a problem.
Sounds pretty advanced to me.
Yeah. Oh, Jalen Harris subscribed for 2 months in a row with a tier 3 sub. I got the notification now. I don't know if the thing showed up. He also gave $1 and said, just giving bits to get back in the #1 spot. Hopefully the medal shows up this time. I still don't know why his medal doesn't ever show up or whatever. I don't know what the medals are exactly. Would NHK even want to sponsor on Season 3, considering Japan hates people that commit crimes? That's very true. They might not want to put Log Horizon back on the national broadcasting channel. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the cult fan base of the show is strong enough that it would justify making a third season elsewhere. Like, I don't know how relevant it is today, or if it's... I mean, the Log Horizon, I meant to say the light novels, get released in America, so... And they've, like, been consistently coming out, so I would assume people are buying them. It's not an unpopular show, but I don't know if it's, like, still relevant. But maybe I can help make it relevant again. I don't know how much punching power I have on that. I imagine not enough to kickstart a second season, though. Third season. Did you talk to the guy in the fan club in Vermilion? Because he gives you an outfit as well, apparently.
I've not.
Gary is Gilgamesh. He does kind of look like him. You ever watch Fate Zero? You'd like Fate Zero a lot. That's your type of show.
Wow,
It's basically... No, Fate Zero is the one written that's based on the novels by Urobuchi Gen. And it's basically just Game of Thrones in anime form. But like
cool.
more idealistically driven. Like in Game of Thrones, like each character kind of represents an ideology. In Fate Zero, they just are an ideology. Like it is just a battle of ideologies with characters attached to them, and that's fine because that's like it's like which again just boiled down like what you think is the most interesting part about a story, you know. But it is a little like on the nose, but you know it's not as good as Mass Effect. But it's like in that vein of like how the characters are and like
sounds pretty good.
How they all represent like some kind of very like a conflict that has something to say about the human nature, you know. I'll use this frying pan as a drying pan. Yeah, that's a line. What Pokemon movies have you seen and which ones are your favorites? I've seen the first 7. We did podcasts on all of them like a year ago. Number 1 is still entertaining. It's like, it's pretty fast paced. The plot is like pretty bare bones and like the dialogue's not that great, but it's got an emotional storyline, a good central message, beautiful animation. It's worth watching. Pokemon 2000, I still really like it. I think it's a fun story. I like the way the characters are portrayed. I just love the visual effects.
They renamed Cut to Chop Down.
And it was one of my favorite movies as a kid, so like, I'm nostalgic for it.
Why would they do that?
To make it more obvious what you need to do, I suppose.
Cut down a tree?
Chop down.
The third movie has really amazing visuals, but like the plot moves really slow and it doesn't have much depth to it. But it does look really cool. Then 4 onwards, they're basically like number 5 is like pretty good. It's like the animation has regressed to like a Xerox version of its former self, you know? Like it's that kind of like, you know about the Xerox era of Disney, right?
Yeah.
It's like that for Pokemon movies when you get to the 5th one. They're like, you can tell there's significantly less budget in them. They are not the worldwide guaranteed success that they once were. And, but like number 5 still tells a pretty emotional story and it's a solidly entertaining movie. But like all the other ones that we watched were total garbage. And I've seen like little bits of some of the later ones, and they seemed like they get pretty fucking over the top. In one, Ash like becomes Poseidon. In one, fucking there's like a fucking historical Pokemon war that there's like flashbacks to, like a serious war is an actual canon part of a Pokemon movie where like people rode on Mamoswines in battle.
I want a Pokemon movie about that.
Yeah, there is one.
I mean, I want to see the actual fight. I want the whole thing.
It does show like it starts off with like a montage of like people riding on Charizards and Mamoswines like going into battle.
Man.
And it's like
it
doesn't show anybody dying. It shows them fighting. Like it shows Pokemon battling, but like you know that the implication is that they fucking killed each other. It's pretty intense. That's the big Mamoswine movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, because I only saw parts of that movie, but that seemed to be what was going on. And that's what I've heard.
My boy.
When you read the light novels, I remember you had some on your shelves. I think you mean a Log Horizon. I read the first one. I don't know if you meant Log Horizon though. But I think we talked about another light novel. I have not heard of or read of the manga Kamui Den. Do a weekly show with Nate again when that Spice Girl anime comes out? What Spice Girl anime? What are you talking about? That can't be real. No thank you, I share your opinion on Prisma Ilia. I recently watched the Curem movie and I thought it was pretty decent. Curem's like the one from White, right? The big white legendary dude.
I don't know anything about Pokemon after Gen 2.
How you feeling about Pokemon Let's Go right now?
It's great. I love it. I really wish it was better at tracking my motion when catching Pokemon. That's my only real complaint so far.
I'm not entirely sure actually why we ended up deciding to play this game on today's stream and not jump into Spyro, since we already did make a video about this game, but...
Because it's fun?
Yeah, it's like we just sincerely wanted to play the game again and needed an excuse.
Also, I was like, hey, we gotta do I'm Games in 5 minutes. You're like, oh, I'm really high.
Well, I had thought about it throughout the weekend, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or Spyro, but like, I don't want to stop playing this because it's fun. And we had a good time, and I want another stream of just us having a good time playing Pokemon, you know? And I want to see more of the game, see if anything else, like, major changed throughout it. But, like, as we go on, I'm realizing that this game is long as shit to do on a live stream. Like, you don't really think about the fact that Red and Blue is an RPG where it takes, like, some time to make progress, you know? Like, this is our third 2-hour stream, and we're not at the third gym yet. Well, we're not 2 hours in. We're an hour and a half already. It's like, this would be a lot of streams to finish this game. So if I'm just going to play it on my own time, or you can play it on your own time and tell me if anything else changed. Or she can play it on her own time and tell me if anything else changed. I feel like Tom would love Black and White just on the animated sprites alone. Dude, the animated sprites are fucking gorgeous in Black and White.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I need to. I need to play a lot of the Pokemon games.
Black and White is like one of my favorites because Black and White basically is like a hard reset on Pokemon catching. Because it's like you only catch the new Pokemon in that game. There is
Which is how everyone should have been.
Right. It's way more exciting when you only catch new stuff. And like, White is structured like it is, you know, like it felt like Gold and Silver obviously is built like a sequel to the first game, where like it doesn't bother you to like walk around as much. Like everybody makes a big to do about how there's 8 extra gyms, and therefore the game is like, oh, there's twice as many gyms. And when I was a kid, I felt that way, and I was really let down when Ruby and Sapphire came out and didn't have like 16 gyms, because I thought, why would they make it smaller again? But when you actually play Silver with like clocking your time, like the game's not that much longer than Red, because there's just way less time between gyms. Like you do a bunch of just back to back gyms, and so like it's kind of like they built it with the thought like, oh, people have already played the first one, this is going to be the sequel. And then they made Ruby and Sapphire, and it was just like the weird amount of water just kind of was a put off to a lot of people, including me. And then like Diamond and Pearl was like, hey, there's only like 60 new Pokemon and all of them are legendaries, and so this is like some weird, and like everybody talks about how it had like the most endgame content, so it kind of feels like the closing of this chapter, and then it's like Black and White, like let's start from scratch, like let's make, with all the wisdom we have now from all these Pokemon games, let's make one that's like you're playing the first one again, you know? And that's what they did, and I really like it. Maybe I'm overanalyzing it, but that's how it's felt to me over the decades of exploring these games. And then X and Y, the thing about Black and White is that, like, I really wanted to play them all the way through, and I only got, like, probably 3 gyms in. I actually got stuck on the 3rd gym leader, but, like, fucking, when X and Y came out, like, the graphical step up, because, like, when Black and White came out, I had already been mind blown by the graphics. Like, the fact that there were, like, 3D environments sometimes, even though you were a pixelated sprite, was, like, enough to be like, oh my god, Pokemon in 3D, like, when I saw it. And then when they made X and Y, it was like, oh, well, this is actually Pokemon in 3D. Like, this is completely different. This is on another level. And, like, so going back to Black and White for, like, that excitement completely fell off. But, like, when I look at it in terms of the structure of the game, and, like, it's a really strong set of new Pokemon. They're all pretty exciting. Like, even the ones that aren't, like, necessarily attractive are, like, at least interesting. And, yeah, I'd say it's a really strong game. I also really like X and Y, even though it's a total clusterfuck. And I liked Sun and Moon, even though it's impossible to replay because there's 10 fucking hours of cutscenes that you can't skip in the goddamn game.
So EEVEE just learned Cut. It didn't ask me to forget a move, it just knows it now.
Oh.
Is it not a battle move anymore?
The build-up is going... No.
It just knows how to do it now.
Well, there you go. HM slaves are completely out the window. Neat. Digi, where is Nate? What happened to his channel? He just put out a video recently that was really good. The sign of the cross. Is he done with his old style reviews? No, he's been working on them fucking for an eternity.
There used to be a secret item in here. Is there isn't anymore? Never mind.
Max D out says, I like the idea Black and White had, but the problem I have with it is how many of the Pokemon are just analogs of Gen 1 Pokemon. You know, that
That's
doesn't...
like every gen, though.
It doesn't really bother me too much because it's like I kind of want to see all the different... Like you could say that Sandile is just like Sandshrew, but they're both totally different designs that are both really cool for their own reasons, you know? Like...
I mean, aesthetically, it's great. I just mean gameplay-wise.
So all I care about is the aesthetic.
It'd be interesting if there was, like, a different gameplay kind of structure to the Pokemon you find to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they do introduce new types every once in a while, and new mechanics like berries and fucking natures and like weather effects and all that shit.
They're adding stuff on top of it, for sure.
I'm watching this while I literally play Pokemon. I think it's the optimal experience. Yeah, it seems to be anytime somebody says that they watch I Am games while playing games or while making games, those are like the best states to be in while watching I Am games. You should have us on your second monitor. Whoa, what were those plushies? I want to see the plushies.
Alright. I gotta get my outfit,
Oh
apparently.
boy.
He also gives you the bike thing. I don't even know if you get a bike in this game, though.
You got an EEVEE set.
Oh. You can dress up like an EEVEE.
Oh my god, look at them. They're fucking adorable. Why couldn't Jigglypuff have looked like that in the movie?
Because,
I really like how they stylized all the plushies so that they don't just... Because, like, in the old games, it just looked exactly like the Pokemon sprite. Do you see the picture of him with the Pikachu and Eevee on his lap in the background?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this game is adorable. Look at that. I want that Ditto beanbag. I want that Ditto beanbag. Someone make me that. That could happen in real life. That shouldn't be too hard. I'll pay for it, I mean. Black and White has Scraggy, so it's a 10 out of 10. Agreed. Scraggy is so good in the anime, too. He just fucking goes around headbutting people and being an asshole. Can you guys honestly say this game is worth $60? It definitely doesn't cost as much to make as Red Dead Redemption or Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I don't think it needed to be $60. I think it could have gotten away with being like $40 since it's like mostly a retread of Pokemon Red and like
That's not the Nintendo way, though.
This
game's gonna be $60 for the next 10 years. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, it'll
That's how
never go
Nintendo
on
rolls.
sale. They don't care. They just will.
They know
always
they
do
don't
it
have
this
to
way.
care.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
No, I mean, how can you resist like Pokemon on a fucking console
Yeah,
for
and
the
they put it
first
right
time
for
ever?
the holidays too, so everyone's
Right.
gonna be asking for it.
That's true. Wonder if it's too late to start Black and White. Been considering getting White version and getting back into it once I study for the year. I don't know what you mean by too late to start, but you should go ahead and do it because it's fun. I mean, I played it a little bit on that short-lived Nuzlocke series that I tried to do where I would like the idea was that I would like get shit-faced and play Nuzlocke and Pokemon White, but like I was fucking awful at playing it because I was drunk.
This is the worst shit. It's not moving. Everything is bad.
What do you guys think of Contra series? Too hard.
I want to play Hardcore Uprising, though. 'Cause that's one by Daisuke.
Wait, who?
Daisuke Shibutari, the guy who did Guilty Gear.
Oh yeah, that's right. No bike in this game.
I bet the capturing on this would be so much better if we were doing it in handheld mode with a touchscreen. What the fuck?
You don't do it that way though. You just, or maybe you do. Is that how you do it? If you're playing with
Yeah,
like,
if you're on touchscreen, it's a touchscreen on handheld mode.
Well,
Welcome to Halo.
I thought they had cut the touchscreen because it was like why the Wii U was so expensive, or is it just that the Wii U,
Just the gamepad in general.
or not that it was why it was like it was like expensive to produce it or something. And it didn't really succeed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with the Wii U. Because they called it the Wii U, most people, like normies, just thought it was an accessory for the Wii and never bought it.
The thing that I hated about the Wii U was that it was so uncreative. And what I mean by that is, do you remember when the Wii was like, was called the Revolution and nobody knew what it was and everyone was like speculating what the Wii was going to be? And the DS had come out, so people were like, oh, well the DS is like this new way of playing games, so I bet they're going to have like a touch screen on the controller and like two screens and it'll be like that, but a game console. And then it came out with the Wiimote and it was totally different and everyone's minds were blown. Then they make the Wii U and it's what everybody thought the original Wii was going to be, like the most uncreative, like copy pasta bullshit.
It's still cool though. It's still like cool to have the dual screen touchscreen on like a console.
There was one video game by Nintendo that should have been made on the Wii U and they never did, and it's a sequel to Pokemon Snap because you had a camera with a viewfinder in your hands to use with the screen.
That's what Fatal Frame does. There's a Fatal Frame game on the Wii U that actually did that. And we should play that because I heard it was really good. Super Bunny Hop did a review of it. It was like, yeah, this should have happened immediately.
I don't know what I'm doing. It said it has something stuck on them. Don't touch my head, asshole. This is weird.
Yeah. When are we going to get to the point in Digibro content where every project is completed and everything isn't constantly being abandoned? I think that you'll see fewer, like, I don't think everything is constantly abandoned. When I do a series that's like, that makes sense all the way through, I tend to complete it. But like, a lot of the time you start working on something and you're like, this isn't actually a good idea. So I have to cut my losses and run. Like SAO Weekly was a ploy to have weekly content that would be uniquely creative and fun to make, but also very easy and get lots of views. And like, it got okay views, and it took a little more work than anticipated because the show was really boring and there's not much to work with. And I kind of was out of ideas, and it's just like, well, no sense in keeping this going for no reason. Like, if I watch more of it and I have more ideas, I'll do another one. But there's better series to make that do seem like good ideas.
Fuck you.
The Log Horizon series, I'm absolutely gonna do all of no matter what because I really enjoy writing it, and like I've been writing a lot of like deep technical shit that I'm excited for people to see. It'll mostly be for like people who want hardcore fucking anime analysis. Like, it's not entertainment value focused, you know. It's in fucking depth. It's like a Matthew Matosis video about Log Horizon is what I was going for. But like, yeah. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about that for. Oh right, Jalen Harris asked me something. No, thank you. It's just generally not a good idea to try to give me recommendations during the live stream because I will not remember.
Oh, I guess I can't go through Vermilion or Diglett Cave yet. Just gonna go get a Mr. Mime. Another one. Probably
Oh shit, was that plushie of a Clefairy and I called it a Jigglypuff?
You did. I thought you were just saying in general that style, so it would have made sense if you hadn't called attention to it.
Well, this guy called me out on it.
Oh. I just assumed you were not an idiot. So I gave you the benefit of the doubt there. Pokeballs are useless at this point in the game. I spent all that money and they don't even do anything anymore.
Literally all all they had to do to fix the Wii U's marketing was call it the Wii 2. Maybe even Wii TOO if they wanted to keep the name thing. Wii 2.
Yeah, they did fuck up. What did the U mean? We don't even know.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Has playing this game made you guys more hyped for Gen 8? I just hope... Well, I guess so, yeah, because... I mean, I don't know if I'd want them to keep this catching mechanic on a new game. Like, so I've seen a lot of people saying that they would, but, like, it's going to take some getting used to for me to think that, like, because I don't necessarily know if I enjoy the game of throw the ball at the guy, you know? Like, even if it is a more streamlined process that I can defend, I don't know if it's as fun to me as pressing a menu, you know? But, like,
if the tracking was better, I wouldn't really mind it.
Yeah.
I mean, a happy medium would be to just have a normal battle, and then when you throw to catch, you just do this.
Right.
But we're not doing that.
But like I just hope that Gen 8 like takes notes from this game on just like maintaining simplicity and not trying to bog things down and like so much fucking story that you can't skip, because it really hurts the replay value and makes like even if I like the story, like I want to be able to skip it because a lot of it is corny and overwritten, you know?
Well, we have the option to skip, so as long as they keep that, we're fine.
I feel like the Switch is just what the Wii U should have been. That's what a lot of people seem to think about the Switch.
Yeah. Technically, it wouldn't have been possible back then, though.
Personally, what I liked about the Wii U was that it was like overall less gimmicky. Like I liked that it just felt like an intuitive gaming experience, because like most of what the bottom screen was used for is like menu management, and like when you play a Zelda game and you have that, you're just like, oh, I wish this had always been there. Like this makes it make so much more sense. It's just like a quality of life adjustment that you're happy to have as a gamer, and the controller felt good in my opinion. But like I can definitely see why like the Switch, it can do more different things, but it also means we get gimmicks like this that I don't know if I prefer, you know?
I was kind of hoping there was no motion control bullshit and it would have just been the gimmick is that it's a portable and a home console. I think that would have been enough. And the fact that that was all they talked about in the beginning, they didn't talk about the motion stuff till later and people were still hyped, kind of proves that point. But you know, it's Nintendo. They gotta put some gay shit in there. I'm just trying to get a good IV Diglett right now because I'm gonna need him for Vermilion because all of our Pokemon that were strong against Electric have shit stats.
You know, I guess the way I would put it is that like I feel like the Wii U felt like the natural next step from the GameCube that the Wii did not feel like. Like the GameCube was like the most graphically ahead of the curve console where like the games were the same as the stuff that was coming out on the other consoles, but it was just more creative. It was just like, yeah, this is, other games have got a bunch of like 3D platformers. We've got the one where you fly on a fucking water jet pack and it's like, you know, it looks beautiful. Every other console's got like survival horror games. We've got the best looking remake of all time, you know. Everybody else has you know, run around action games and first person shooters. We got Metroid fucking Prime, which is like a totally different take on the genre. We've got you know, they didn't have a lot of slashy run around action games in the way that the PS2 did, but like they had fucking Animal Crossing, like something that's like fucking was totally like alien concept of what a video game could even be. But all of them were very focused on like being satisfying video games with cutting edge graphics that were doing new things. So the GameCube's a fucking great console. You move on to the Wii and it's like cheap, gimmicky bullshit. Because they're like, oh, well, you know, we're going to change the way that you think about gaming, but we're going to do it with motion controls that don't work that well. And the graphical capabilities of this console are lesser, but it's selling to more people, so that means that we're going to just crank out shovelware for this console. And like most of the games are going to take like a low budget approach and rely a lot on the gimmicks to try to impress people with like, oh, I'm waving my arm instead of pressing a button. I feel so much more adjusted, you know. Whereas the other consoles are like steaming ahead into like the forefront of visual technology, and like they're doing it in a boring way as compared to the GameCube. But like, if the Wii U had come out alongside the PS3 and Xbox 360, it would have been my favorite console of that console generation, and like I would have been evangelical about it, and like, but like, I mean, the GameCube also wasn't a gigantic success. Neither GameCube or Wii U were, so like the Wii is obviously the way to go financially for Nintendo, and like with the Switch, they're like, how do we find a middle ground? Like, how can we please both crowds? And like, they succeeded. Everybody fucking loves it. Everybody I know who has a Switch is like, yeah, Switch is great. You like the Switch, right?
I mean, yeah.
You got the Splatoon. You're just like, yeah, Splatoon's dope.
I don't play enough Splatoon. I don't play enough video games. I'm too busy making one. Did I get better IVs yet? I'll just go with the decent one because I'm only going to use this for one gym. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. The things aren't where I expect them to be because this isn't like the old school menu. I am an idiot. 3 stars. 3. No, you fucking bitch.
GameCube has the best Fire Emblem. Is that Path of Radiance? Because like, I didn't really care for that one. I thought that the 3D models looked ugly as compared to the sprites, and like, I didn't get into it. I know my brother Victor tried to play that one and didn't really care about it that much, but then he played the sequel and was like, this is like my favorite Fire Emblem. That's where Ike becomes Guts from fucking Berserk. He just like becomes Guts. He looks just like him and like has his sword.
Some liberal borrowing there by Nintendo.
Yeah. Get rid of Tail Whip Tom. Good boy. When are we gonna get more Digi and May Let's Plays? Probably soon. We
Probably
get busy
with more
sometimes.
weed now.
I was like more worried about getting my Log Horizon script done than making a Let's Play. Oh, I haven't really looked at your EEVEE outfit that you are now, and it looks amazing.
So, I gotta say, the only thing that I don't like about these outfits is that they're just skins. Like, nothing actually geometrically changes, which I think is a missed opportunity.
Well, the Pokemon games have always been, like, weirdly limiting with the clothes systems. Like, I never understood why they don't give you more options, because it doesn't seem like it would be something that's hard to do.
Lazy fucks. Look at this. They can't even design a new outfit, and Red Dead Redemption 2 has realistic shrinking testicles for their horses and shit. Priorities, Nintendo. Come on.
Crystal Chronicles was amazing. I want to play it. I recently purchased it right before finding out they were HD remastering it on the fucking Switch. I was like, well, at least I have it for comparison. Bring back Comfy Cast? Maybe.
What a shit moveset.
I'm loving Pokemon Stadium, by the way. Do you mean Coliseum? Are you talking about the Let's Plays? So thank you. Unless you're just playing Pokemon Stadium for some reason. Any interest in the East series, did you? They're fucking hard. Like, I tried to play like East 4 or something for the Super Nintendo back when I was doing Adventure Action RPG, and like, hitting enemies is such a weirdly precise mechanic that either I was completely misunderstanding it, which didn't seem to be the case, because I was doing everything possible, but like, I can't believe people have beaten those games, because they're like, just the basic, you just have to like run into enemies at an angle using 4 directional controls on a fucking Super Nintendo game. Like, every time you run, you have to run into an enemy in such a way that the pixel that's holding the sword hits the enemy, but like they're moving and you are imprecise as fuck, and like,
Sounds retarded.
and if you don't do it right, then they hit you, so you die. Like, I couldn't beat the first enemy in the game, and I was like, I don't know if I don't understand this right or something. And then like later ones were different, where they have like, you can press A to swipe, and it's just like a super short range sword, and you have to get like really close to enemies. But like, the games seem fun, but they are hard as shit, and like, I just don't have like the patience to really try to master the controls of one of those guys, because it's like you have to have like fast twitch reflex kind of controls. But yeah, I don't know how anybody's beaten the early East games.
Can you release Pokemon?
What?
Can you release them?
I think you send them to the professor, like in Pokemon Go, and get candies. That's like what it does. Because there's a bunch of candies now, and like you can have quick candies, which make your speed better and stuff like that. So
That would be how you EV train them, I guess.
I suppose.
Because I was wondering if you can't like play wild Pokemon, like EV training would be a bitch.
I think that's what you do.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So
Clearly, they want you to just catch a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
They're incentivizing it in every way possible. Alright, well, this is my guy.
Someone wanted to know if you've played Suikoden.
Suikoden?
Yeah, you ever played any of it?
Nope.
I played a little bit of 4. I remember watching Victor play through like most of it. I don't think he ever beat it though. It seemed kind of generic. Like, it seemed like a neat like setting and like mechanic of you like recruit like 180 something teammates, but like the actual combat mechanics were just like very traditional RPG, and this was on the PS2, so like even by that point it was kind of like, man, that's real basic looking, you know.
I feel that.
But I have heard that the Suikoden games for the PlayStation are supposed to be like some of the best RPGs in the console. But then again, basically every RPG on the Super Nintendo and PS1 is like beloved unless it like really sucks. So, you know, it's hard to judge
Right.
just based on people's impressions.
Ugh. Well, there are 2 different colored trash cans, so I wonder if that's, I wonder what that means.
Well, it certainly takes the guesswork out, doesn't it?
Indeed.
I'm sure nobody's gonna complain about that. See, the head holding shit's already gone away. That didn't take long. It's a red trash can. This is no place for kids.
Well, it's a kid. It's rated E for everyone. I'm confused. I'm gonna hit you with my mind beam.
CM398 says, East Origin is pretty easy, and I can't think of any other games where you can instantly retry boss fights. I mean, if you're just limiting that to action RPGs, Crosscode. Crosscode is kind of like East, but like with just like much more advanced mechanics. Like, not to say that it necessarily plays better, but that like there's like way more depth in like what you can do in battle. And it's pretty fucking fascinating and fun, and I should have did a video about it, but instead I started working on Tales of Fantasia, which is a less interesting game, but still fun. And I want to look at the franchise because I grew up with it, and that's what the real heart of YouTube is like shit you grew up with, like the bones of the like the stuff, like the original shit that we all did was just like, yeah, here's something I've loved since my childhood. Oh, so did the blue and red cans have nothing to do with the Switch system or something? Like,
Guess not.
oh no, it's just like the old games. Well, I guess nobody can accuse this of getting babyfied. Even if you might have wanted it to be.
Maybe the red or blue one.
I mean,
the
it's
other
neat
switch.
that it's got a little cutscene.
That's weird.
That's awesome. I'm glad they did that. To fuck with the little kids.
Why is it red and blue?
Because that's the game. It's red and blue. It's like a throwback.
But I just don't understand why they would bother putting the trade in that don't make no sense. I don't get it. I'm gay.
Bobby Joe Brown says, I had a dream that I met Vash the Stampede. He then turned into CG and started shooting at me with this big ass gun. I'm not sure what it meant, but it was terrible. They actually are there to tell you where the right ones are, so I guess they're probably both the next two. Oh, are the Joy-Cons meant to be like one blue and one red maybe? Signify that this one's on the right of this can, this one's on the left of this can? I don't know. It's just a hint, I guess. What's your thoughts on all of the Fire Emblem games? I've only played the two that were on GBA, and I liked them a lot, but I could not beat either one. But I haven't played them in a very long time. The last time I played any of the first GBA game was during my 24-hour live stream that I did that time, and like my brain was rotting out of my fucking skull. It's the first one you clicked on and the one right under it, I think, because I saw like a sparkle above it. Liquid Shaman Man says, I also happened to have a weird Vash the Stampede dream recently. He was fighting Marvel's Daredevil in an anime.
That sounds pretty cool.
I'm very happy that this is going on.
Welcome to Halo Reach.
What Resident Evil games have both of you completed?
4 and 5.
I've only done 4. I've played like halfway through 1,
Oh.
all of 4, and like an hour of 6 that I did not enjoy at all. Except for when you can like curb stomp zombies. That's fun. You should do the first 3 when the 2 remake comes out. That's one of those things that I know a lot of people are going to cover. And I'm not really qualified to talk about it since I haven't really played much of them. Like, I'll just wait for Gaming Grit to talk about the Resident Evil remake. I'm sure he will. Jalen Harris says, I kind of want to play a Pokemon game now. I've never actually played one before. What's the best one? I mean, if you want it to be in 3D, I recommend starting with, really depends on what you want. If you want a highly story-driven experience, play Sun and Moon. If you want one that's like got a little bit of story drive, but is more about just like catching shit tons of Pokemon and doing random stuff and kind of having more free roaming exploration, X and Y. If you want one that's like kind of in between that, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, it's like more of a classic game, just like with a fresh shine on it. Other than that, if you're playing the old games, you either start with Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is the most straightforward classic experience with really great graphics, or you start with fucking Black and White, because it's again like basically it's like experiencing the first game in the series but with different guys and with updated graphics.
So you're saying you could play anyone?
Any of the ones I said. Don't start with
Pretty
gold.
much all the games.
Don't start with gold and silver or
I don't
fucking.
know. I feel like if you want old school, go the original games or go Crystal. If not,
Yeah.
go for like
I mean, you could
Black
go.
and White or the latest
You could
one.
definitely
wouldn't-
go. Like
I wouldn't
Heart
play
Gold,
Soul
Soul
Silver or Crystal first, just because, like, so much of the joy of those games is having already beaten Red and Blue and
Right.
seeing how the world
Yeah,
changes.
that's true.
Yeah, like they're very much intended to be sequels, so like I definitely wouldn't play them. I would like I mean, if you like the look of this game as compared to Fire Red and Leaf Green, like either start with this game or Fire Red, because those are like the best jumping on points. But like if you don't even want to go back to the 2D era of Pokemon at all, then you know all three of the 3D games have different reasons to pick them first. Like, because I feel like X and Y is kind of sequelish too, in that like you really got to know a lot of mechanics, and if you want to like try to catch all the Pokemon, like you'll have to exhaust every fucking weird conceit they've ever thought of in the Pokemon series. Whereas Sun and Moon is more straightforward than that, and like Sun and Moon also weirdly has a lot of Gen 1 and like older Pokemon, so I think that they wanted it to be like a standalone experience, but one that involves all these older Pokemon that maybe a lot of young kids haven't really seen. Because, like, you know, like they're probably thinking, oh, you know, nostalgic fans just want to see Gen 1 Pokemon anyways, and new fans will be like, I've never even fucking seen this thing before. But,
Yeah.
Instead, it just kind of pissed me off that the new Pokemon were so hard to find, because I legitimately want to find the new guys, you know?
Agreed.
Hot take, but Halo Reach was alright. I enjoyed Halo Reach. I
It
enjoyed
was-
it more than 3.
I agree. Reach was great.
Because Reach was like the most straightforward, just like me and my bros charged through this in like 4 hours and had a good time, and like it just ramped up ideas. Like it was like a refinement of the previous games. Like it didn't try to be a sequel and introduce all this new shit that didn't work like Halo 3. It was like, we're gonna take that moment when you fought the big thing and we're gonna make you fight 2 of the big things. Let's see how that changes the dynamic of the battle. And you're like, that's sick. Yeah, I'm taking down 2 Scarabs in this game. In that game, I could take down 1 Scarab, or I could go play Reach and take down 2 Scarabs. Which one do you think makes me feel more badass, you know? So,
I mean, as someone who was a faggot and read the Halo books and stuff, I enjoyed finally being able to play the pivotal moment of the
that
Halo
too.
lore.
I never read the books, but I super wanted to, because I was like super fascinated with that lore, but I just like never wanted to throw down the money for those books, because they were like $15 a piece, and I was like, that's like half a game, you know?
I don't remember them being that expensive.
They were when I wanted to buy them. Even if they were $10, like I used to, like this was in the era when I was heavy into video games, and I was buying a lot of like bargain bin shit because I had missed out on it before. So like, you know, like I'm buying a bunch of $20 games, and like buying 1 Halo book would be like half of a game's worth. It's like, am I gonna get more out of reading this Halo book once that probably is kind of stupid, or buying an entire video game that's still on my shelf, you know? Who knows what the real answer to that question is, but that's how I thought at the time.
I think I'm probably gonna lose.
How's the stuffed peppers count?
1 minute.
1 minute? Oh, beautiful. We could they'll finish right as he beats this gym leader, and then we
I'm
can
going to
stop
lose
the
against
stream.
this. I'm gonna lose against
Oh,
Search
really?
for sure.
God, Ivysaur.
Yeah, the problem is I have all my genetically superior guys, but none of the guys I actually trained. So I have a fucking Magikarp and a Wartortle right now,
Oh boy.
which basically means nothing. Like less
Probably,
than nothing.
I mean, I guess I understand why you wouldn't have expected it to be all that hard, but hey, that did fucking just do that again.
I still
Maybe
have
Eevee
Raichu.
and his insanely overpowered IVs can pull this off. You say you had Raichu?
He has Raichu.
Oh,
It's gonna be his last guy.
yeah, of course. Keep battling, dude. Eevee ain't even damaged. Oh, fuck yeah, Raichu looks great.
God,
I've been watching OG Evangelion lately, and I realized that Flip Flappers is just gay Ava. Not thematically similar, but structurally. The second half just sucks because it forgets about its own themes really bad. Fair.
Funniest thing I've ever heard.
Custom game / forge mode was straight up better in Reach, but no one really brings that up.
You did it. You beat the Raichu.
I used the OP cheat Pokemon.
Hell
I did.
yeah, dude. Normie is the fucking way to go. Chandler Harris says, I'm fine with 2D, I just want an RPG with satisfying combat that doesn't get boring, played for a long time like this game has gotten boring to watch, it isn't very exciting. Yeah, I don't think we'll stream too much more of this game, probably, because it would take, like, literally a session per gym leader, and we're only on number 3.
Yeah.
So 5 more.
And also, I mean, you're not going to enjoy watching this game if you don't have nostalgic memories of this. Like, look how cool Surge looks right now. Yeah.
We'll definitely, I mean, like, with this show, it's always, like, a combat of, like, can we play this game before the next game that we want to cover comes out that we drop everything for? So, like,
right.
So it's like we might do Spyro next, but I'm going to look at the list of games coming out and make sure there's nothing that's going to make us want to drop everything before next Monday. I don't think anything's coming out. I don't really remember. I remember this being the game that, like, I saw on the charts and I was like, oh, well, this is obviously going to happen, you know?
Alright, I guess we're done.
Alrighty. This was a really fun set.
Oh, what? Misty's here. Misty's just here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, she just healed me up.
Guys.
I'm going swimming in the sea. Can I watch?
Halo Reach campaign was insanely disappointing. You don't fight the Scarabs in Reach. Yeah, you do. You fight like 2 Scarabs at once, don't you?
I don't remember.
I remember there being a part where you fight 2 Scarabs at once in like the desert. I thought there was like 3. In fact, there's like multiple Scarab fights in Reach. I could be remembering wrong. That's how I remember it. That was Halo 3. Well, there you go. I'm retarded and I'm mixing up all the fucking Halo games in my brain. I remember enjoying the Reach campaign more than 3 because 3 has all the stupid moments where you get psychic Cortana messages to slow the game down for fucking 10 minutes. And I was like, this is retarded. And like, it was also like too long. Like, I got that they were trying to make it like bigger and better, but like, I like being able to sit down with Halo and just play through it in a day with a guy, you know?
I mean, I distinctly remember not enjoying Halo 3 very much, and I distinctly remember enjoying Halo Reach a lot.
Right. I felt the same way. I remember with Reach being like, okay, that wasn't like the highs that I reached playing Halo 2, but like it was a really satisfying, like just short 4.5 hour campaign with a tragic ending. That was cool. Like the mechanic of the ending where you're just like struggling, like you just like stay alive for as long as possible. And that's like
just yeah, you gotta like keep staying alive until you fire off like the cannon or something, and then
no, it's just like the very end is just stay alive as long as possible.
Right, you fire off. You have to fire off that cannon, but once that is, you just keep going until you die.
Yeah,
that's the
fucking
game.
Genius.
It was dope.
That is Ludo narrative resonance right there. It also reminds me of the ending of The One, starring Jet Li. Do you remember The One?
I did not watch The One.
Oh, dude, the ending of The One. So the concept of The One is that like, there's a bunch of yous in parallel universes, and each time one dies, the rest get more powerful until the guy who's the last one left is the one. And so the last 2 are Jet Li and himself, fighting himself as Dark Version. The Dark Version's like a total edgelord, and like there's literally a scene where he breaks out of prison and like they like send in a rat with a bomb attached to its tail, and it blows up, and the soundtrack goes ooh wah, da, 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 da. It's that kind of movie.
Oh, I need to watch
and the ending of the movie. The bad guy is sent to a like prison planet that just looks like hell, and like with a bunch of like weird like Aztec temples that everybody's standing on, like something out of Mortal Kombat's Outworld. And like the guy is like on the stairs of this like pyramid, and there's like all these weird looking redneck dudes at the feet of it, and the guys are like, he's got a purty mouth. Like they're gonna like fuck him or
Fuck.
something. And he goes like, I don't remember his name, so I'm just gonna say Kung Lao. I am Kung Lao. I'm nobody's bitch. And then he just starts fighting all these dudes as the camera pans out and fucking losing my sight, losing my mind, when somebody plays over it. It's like the most legendary ending
Jesus Christ.
of any fucking movie.
Well, on that note, thanks for watching I Am Games, everybody.
Yeah.
Join us next time on Thursday, where Chrono Cross will be happening.
Hell yeah.
We'll be continuing Viper.
Well, Thursday's Thanksgiving, so...
Oh,
we
I'm
might
not going to be here.
Yeah.
I guess join us on Friday
Yeah,
for something.
It's Friday. We're not going to stream on Thanksgiving because we got plans. Bye, everybody.
Be the games you want to see.